What if Earth stopped spinning for just 1 second? This motion is so smooth, our bodies and brains have adapted to it. We are unaware of the immense speed. But what if that rotation stopped instantly? The contradiction is that we feel nothing now, yet the consequences would be apocalyptic. At the equator, everything not anchored would fly east at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. That includes you. The atmosphere, still moving at that speed, would create winds of unimaginable force. Trees and buildings would be leveled. Oceans would slosh eastward, unleashing mega tsunamis hundreds of meters high. Coastal cities would be wiped away. The ground itself would shift and crack from the sudden deceleration. Earthquakes would ripple across the planet. Buildings, cars, and people would be thrown horizontally. The landscape would become a debris field of unimaginable scale. But there is a nuance. If the deceleration were gradual, spread over minutes or hours, survival might be possible. The Coriolis effect, which deflects winds and currents, would vanish. Weather patterns would become chaotic and unpredictable. Day and night cycles would change forever. Without rotation, one side of Earth would face the sun constantly. Gravity remains, but centrifugal force disappears. The equator would bulge less, causing sea levels to redistribute dramatically. Earth's spin is a relic from its violent birth, a cosmic momentum that has never stopped. Angular momentum keeps our planet rotating like a giant gyroscope, stable and constant. We feel no motion because everything moves with it, including the air and oceans. The force we experience is centripetal, pulling us inward, not outward as we might think. At the equator, centrifugal force slightly counteracts gravity, reducing it by less than 1%. If Earth stopped spinning, gravity would increase everywhere, making you feel slightly heavier. The planet would slowly reshape from an oblate spheroid to a perfect sphere over centuries. This reshaping would trigger massive earthquakes as the crust adjusts to the new shape. This is just the beginning. Subscribe to see more amazing content. Fire. The magnetic field, generated by the spinning liquid core, would begin to weaken. Without the dynamo effect of the rotating core, the magnetosphere would eventually collapse. Solar wind would then strip away the atmosphere, slowly turning Earth into a barren world. The length of a day would become 1 year, with 6 months of light and 6 of darkness. Temperature extremes would become severe, with scorching heat and freezing cold beyond imagination. The science is clear. Earth's spin is essential for life as we know it. The impossible happens. Earth's rotation halts instantly. Every loose object on the planet lurches eastward at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Near the equator, people are flung sideways at supersonic speed. Their bodies become projectiles, tearing through buildings and trees. The atmosphere, still spinning, becomes a global hurricane. Winds of 1,670 kilometers per hour level forests and cities alike. Oceans surge eastward with unimaginable force. A wall of water hundreds of meters high sweeps across continents, drowning everything in its path. The ground itself rebels. The sudden deceleration triggers earthquakes of magnitude 10 or more. The crust cracks and shifts violently. Volcanoes awaken under the stress. Magma forces its way through weakened crust, spewing ash and lava into the already chaotic sky. Power grids fail instantly as transformers explode. The world plunges into darkness, except for fires raging from ruptured gas lines. Communication networks collapse. Satellites lose orientation. Phones go silent. Humanity is cut off, isolated in the chaos. Near the poles, rotational speed was only a few hundred kilometers per hour. Survivors there face less violent forces, but still devastating winds. The sky turns surreal. Clouds race east at impossible speeds, forming long streaks. The sun and stars blur across the heavens. Within minutes, the world is unrecognizable. Familiar landmarks are gone. The geography of Earth has been rewritten by wind and water. But wait, there's a silver lining. You can still hear the world, if you have the right gear. Check out the Tiga Semblan Bluetooth headphones in the description. The first hour ends. The winds begin to subside. But the damage is done. Earth has entered a new era of extremes. Survivors emerge from shelters, blinking in the strange light. The sun now rises in the west, a consequence of the stopped spin. They face a new reality. A planet without rotation. The next hours will test their will to survive in a world gone mad. The chaos subsides. Earth now faces a new reality. One side forever bathed in sunlight, the other plunged into eternal darkness. This is tidal locking. The same side always faces the star, just like the moon faces Earth. The day side bakes under constant sunlight. Temperatures soar past boiling point. Oceans evaporate into steam. The night side freezes solid. Air itself turns to ice. A world of eternal frost and darkness. But between these extremes lies a narrow ring of twilight. Here, the sun hangs forever on the horizon. This twilight zone becomes the only habitable region. Temperatures remain mild, allowing liquid water to exist. Without Earth's spin, the equatorial bulge collapses. Oceans flow toward the poles, flooding vast areas. The equator becomes a ring of exposed land or shallow sea. New continents rise from the deep. Life adapts to the new extremes. Plants on the day side evolve thick leaves to reflect sunlight. Creatures in the night side develop bioluminescence and heat-sensing organs to navigate the dark. Human survivors gather in the twilight zone. They build settlements powered by geothermal vents and constant wind. But the magnetic field is gone. Cosmic radiation bombards the surface. Cancer rates skyrocket. Without a magnetosphere, the solar wind strips away the atmosphere. Slowly, the air thins. Over billions of years, Earth becomes a barren world like Mars, dry, cold, and nearly airless. But for now, a fragile equilibrium holds. Life clings to the twilight zone, a last bastion against the void. Hi there! If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. Smiling face with smiling eyes, last chance. Subscribe now before we launch our new series. Unlocked.